Halloween, and we're taking him in. Say hi. We're taking him up to the Quantocks on Triscombe to make him into a see-through ghost. You need a couple of bits for this. Camera, iPhone camera, whatever, they'll do it. You need to be able to make your son into a ghost, so you need a white sheet, some scissors.
Or daughter.
Daughter, but he's a son. You'll also need a tripod. I can't emphasise that enough. You'll need the camera on a steady tripod. You can't change the scene because it involves taking two pictures of exactly the same scene. One with him in and one with him out. Then home to Photoshop, and I will show you exactly how to do it when we get there. You have to excuse my camera this morning, it seems a little bit shaky as to where I've placed it. Check out my page on Instagram, Peter16Flecken Photography. Check out my witches shoot that we've just completed with 3 witches up in the hills, some smoke grenades and some levitation. I'll put that photo on later of the levitation. Really pleased with that one. It took a long time in Photoshop to get that right, but we got there. I'll give you a shout when we're up there, and we will go from there. Cheers. Hello, we're here. He's here.
Hi.
Say hi. So welcome to Triscombe Stone and our little ghosty shoot. I'm sure we'll have much fun. No face tracking today, that can sod off. Let me show you around.
No swearing.
So no swearing. So this is Triscombe. It's beautiful up here. A little bit blown out over there because of the light. You've got everything you need here if you want to do a spooky Halloween shoot. Like I said, tripod, camera. You can use any camera as long as you take 2 pictures. You need to take one of the scene and then one exactly the same with your ghost in it. You can't change your settings, you can't move the scene, you can't move the camera because you won't be able to start the photos later. You'll create yourself a lot of hard work. You do need some type of editing software. I use Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom. I'll show you how all that works later. They are paid. I don't know if there's anything free out there that you can use. It's just basically 2 photos stacked on top of one another, and then the opacity of the photo with your ghost in it changed. So essentially it shows you the photo that you stacked it on top of, and you'll have a kind of a see-through ghost. But I'll show you all that later in Photoshop when we're at home. Just walking down through Triscombe. There is some mist out over the hills, so I'm kind of hoping the little spot that I've got, there might be some mist there if we're lucky, but generally I'm not that lucky when it comes to photography. So just remember, be conscientious when you're on the hills, take your rubbish home. We've just made a load of mess in the car park, cutting sheets up, but all the mess is in my car, ready to go home, because these places are too nice to ruin and we don't look after them enough. Shut that, mate. Pull it. Just pull it. There you go. So yeah, I'll give you a shout when we're down where I want to be. See you in a minute. Right, that's the main shoot done. It doesn't take many photos. So what we've done some of the scene, and we've done some with him in it, and we've also done some shots that we can clone later. So interesting, see how they turned out. He's had fun.
Yes, I have indeed.
We're all for breakfast. I'll meet you in Photoshop in a bit.
Hi, here we are in Photoshop. We've got our 2 images ready, background and a shot with Oliver in. 2 shots, same shot, tripod, same settings, although I didn't put my background that cleverly because there's quite a bit of wind in the tree, so I'll show you what to do in a minute. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take this image and bung it on top of that image, essentially creating 2 layers. So I'm on a MacBook Pro, it's Command A to select, Command C to copy, Command V to paste. So there you go, there's your 2 layers, layer 1 and your background. So essentially, all you need to do, change the opacity, your ghost becomes see-through. Change it to where you see fit, how you like it, or how you don't. Now, because it's windy, my 2 pictures stacked on top of each other look a bit odd because, you know, these bits here may have been over here because of the wind. So it's going to look a bit slightly blurred. So what you can do, if you're just happy doing that, and you want to change the opacity to make them see-through, and then if you choose your cloning tool, and you can essentially clone out his legs to make him appear floating. But what I'm going to do is put the opacity back up so I can see, and I'm going to erase everything around Oliver. So essentially it will just leave you with your ghost and the other picture that you took, the first picture without the ghost in it. So get yourself a nice big eraser, 500 will do, and then start erasing around Oliver. Can you see all the leaves there? It's all sort of changing, isn't it? And then up and around Olive. And essentially leaving me with 1 picture and just basically Oliver popped on top. There's so many different ways of doing it. You could cut Oliver out of the old picture if you wanted, but the eraser tool is just as easy. And then we can actually erase its feet as well rather than cloning them. Top tip with the eraser, just use little bits, and then if you make a mistake on a big bit you can go back and just erase that little bit. Although saying that, I just done it all in massive great big strides. But anyway, crack on with the eraser and get rid of that previous layer. Up we go into his feet. I'll do that a bit better essentially in a minute. I'll make a smaller tool down through there, all down there. Up through, over top of his head. Right, now if you turn that layer off, you can actually see where you've been, and then you can just quickly do all the bits that you missed, leaving you with a sharp image. Now, to get rid of Oliver's legs completely, make yourself a much smaller eraser, say 50, and then zoom in onto Oliver's legs. And now you can really get in and erase that previous layer. And then if you're missing a bit of white, you can always clone some of the sheet back in afterwards. So nice and careful, get rid of all of Oliver's legs to make him appear that he's floating. You can be as careful as you want, you can get right into the edges, you can be as sharp as you want with this. I'm on nights, I need to go and have a nap, so I'm just doing this nice and quick. So what we're actually erasing is the picture, the layer that we took of Oliver, leaving us the first picture that we took. So the first picture will be sharp, and everything we took of Oliver will also be sharp. Right, that will do for me. Now turn the background layer back on. There you go. Oliver's legs are gone. He is essentially a floating ghost. So there we go. Right, change the opacity. Let's go down to 25. That's too less. Let's try 30. 33. Right, I can clearly see behind. Coffee. I can clearly see through. I can see the fence. I can see the tree. This tree leads up through. So erasing that other layer actually really does help. And all this is now sharply in focus from when we took that first shot. Right, so your opacity's set. You got your floating ghost. Save the file as you wish. You may have a different way of doing it than I do, but I'm just going to save it for now. Wait until this has gone up to 100. There you go. Right, come out of Photoshop. There it is in Lightroom. Bugger off. Silly warnings. I've kind of done one here earlier, which I really like.